Do you know what this month is? It's our anniversary. Anniversary. So your girl's back for another Tuesday singing her little heart out. And this time it is a wonderful celebration. Listen, Tips for Tuesday starts right now. Five, four, three, two, one. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight on Tips for Tuesday, Tuesday Night Live. And this is a special time, a special month, and a special celebration here for your girl. I am your host. I'm sorry, Elisha, Custom Creation Photography. And I am happy to welcome you all here and welcome you to our celebration month, our anniversary. Listen, we are here in September. Welcome September. Happy September. I hope that you all are doing well. Thanks for joining us. Listen, I am very happy for you to be here. This month, we are going to be sharing our birth story. Our birth story. Listen, September 2006 is when we first basically started custom creation. And every September, I don't know when I actually start really officially just feeling the anniversary vibes, but every September, I like to celebrate our story. I like to celebrate our beginning, our humble beginning, and just how we are looking at 19 years later. Listen, 19 years later, almost 20 years. Oh my God, that is such a big deal for me. But 19 years later, we are still here, still custom, still go custom, still doing stuff. And I just want to take this time. September is always the month that I like to reflect on the story. It just seems like 2006 was like a lifetime ago, okay? And just it's important for me to kind of just tell the story. And it's definitely a story of consistency and to keep going. Because believe you me, things have changed, trends have changed, all kinds of changes are going to come. I mean, in time, it's inevitable. It is inevitable that things are going to change. But in 2006, we picked up our first DSLR camera. We didn't even know what that meant at that time. And we picked up our first camera and began shooting. So, just to make a long story short, we basically would go and have pictures. My son and I, and my oldest son now is 25 years old, but at the time he was a young little boy, 6 years old, whatever. And he and I would go over. We had us a personal photographer, and that professional photographer would take our pictures and different things like that. And then people at the job that I was working at the time would encourage me because I've always done creative stuff. I've always been a creative individual. I love doing crafts, all kinds of stuff, sewing, all types of stuff. And they had encouraged me to, you should get a camera and take pictures. So I was like, oh no, no, no. Y'all can just bring me y'all stuff and I can customize whatever it is y'all need. Um hence the word custom. Okay. Anyway, that's a story too. Um, so, and finally, I was just encouraged and to do that. And then one day it just kind of hit me like, you know what? Maybe I will. I'll get a camera and see how that goes. Now, listen, all my life I've always had cameras. In my family, we are camera people. We always take pictures. We always have a camera and stuff like that. So, my first investment actually was for like a backdrop and stuff because I no formal training, no nothing. I'm a visual person. I see something and I think I can create it. I just create it off of what I think that it's supposed to be. That's how I work. So my first investment was backdrop. So I got a backdrop, I got muslin, all the things. So I was taking my little point and shoot camera and taking pictures, but it was nice and I had a little light setup and stuff like that, but it just wasn't it. But it wasn't until my personal photographer, his name was Willie Ross, and I'm always thankful of Willie Ross photography. And he encouraged me to go get me my first camera, which was a Nikon D50. And at the time, I was like, okay, cool. Well, I didn't realize at that time that that camera was on the other side of $500. Oh, I didn't know those cameras cost that kind of money. I'm thinking a little $99, something like that. Oh, oh, it costs over $500. Oh, okay. So at the time, I wasn't in a position to be, getting a $500 camera. So I end up talking to my oldest brother, and I told him, "Hey, I said, do you want to invest in me? I want to purchase this camera and different things like that." So what he did was, he actually gave me a project because I've always done custom projects and stuff. He gave me a nice custom project to do that gave me over half the money for the camera that I needed, and then I was able to get the money for the rest of the camera. And so I went and bought me that Nikon D50 at Best Buy. I went and bought the camera, got the camera, and didn't know what I was really doing. I just thought it was like a point and shoot, and definitely there's a big difference in between a regular point and shoot camera and a DSLR, okay? So in that DSLR, you can remove those lenses and stuff like that, but it's definitely a difference. And so I just began kind of just taking pictures, not necessarily knowing what I was doing or whatever, but taking pictures. And I was wondering why my pictures just didn't look that great. Okay. So one of the tips I want to say for tonight, and I'm kind of just pushing this story along. One of the tips I want to say is, definitely work with what you got. Again, I invest in the backdrop and stuff, and I was using that for a while, and stuff. And then um when I was told what kind of camera to get, then I went after. I'm a hustler. I like to I hustled up the money. I finally made the purchase, and then I began, taking pictures, and just practicing and practice. I was in my apartment living room, just always. My son was my first muse, so he would always have to take pictures for me. Let me test you out. Let me do this. Let me do that, and so I began that way, and just began the journey. So basically, start with where you are and use what you got. So that's a tip, okay? Start where you are and use what you got. And that is what I did. I mean, I in the early days I was bringing people over when they found out I had a camera. I set up a whole studio right in my living room. I come over to my house, you would get a boatload of pictures, okay? For $25, we will do a 3-hour session and give you all the pictures. And guess what? I will print them out in on my printer, okay? So those are some of the early days of custom and just my son just being my subject all the time and just taking those pictures, and it was just such a joyous time and for me, and I mean, and I was willing to take any and every picture I could, and I just wanted to let everybody know I had like a childlike vision. I wanted everybody to know, hey, I got these pictures, I got this camera, I could take your pictures, and then, word of mouth just spreads. Word of mouth just spreads. And as you kind of go along, as I just went along, I start getting different clients and customers. People would tell this person and tell this person. They would call me, and we would set up appointments and different things like that. And then I'm on my way. Listen, custom creation photography was born, just like that. Just from my love of me and my son getting our pictures taken, to just Willie Ross just kind of telling us, telling me what kind of camera to pick up and just different things like that. So I'm always very thankful. That was a quick way to talk about the birthing story. And listen, and I just want to encourage anyone, listen, don't wait. Okay, don't wait. That is the call to action. Don't wait for the perfect, start with what you have. And then I recently was at Podcast Summit, and one of the things that Ernestine Johnson said on her when she was on the stage at Podcast Summit was at the conference. She said her motto is "Don't wait, create," and I love that. Don't wait, create. I am one of the people that I don't wait and create. If I get an idea, I am manufacturing something. I am manufacturing right away. I'm not waiting for anything. I'm not waiting for perfect time. I'm not waiting for perfect lighting. I'm not waiting for perfect camera. I'm not waiting for anything. I got an idea. I'm ready to execute. And then we're going to figure it out along the way. So I give you that as well. Don't wait, create. That's not mine. That is Ernestine's. And I thank you for that because I really do like that. So I want to also encourage you all to reflect on your own journey and how far you come, and just, be thankful, as we always talk about on the channel. Be thankful, be grateful, pat yourself on the back. You aren't where you were yesterday, okay? And I definitely am not where I was yesterday, okay? And I have 19 years custom creation, the memories, the trials and tribulations, um, the lessons, all the things wrapped up. And it's so funny because I'm looking forward to just reflecting on everything. So listen, I am your girl Alicia, coming to you for this Tips for Tuesday anniversary edition. Custom Creation celebrates 19, 19. Celebrates 19. So listen, y'all stay tuned for the rest of the month. Um we got more of our story coming, and we're going to wrap that up into some tips to give you. So if you're on the fence thinking about something and getting started on something, listen, take it from me. Listen, I knew nothing, no formal training, no nothing. I actually picked up a camera, and here I am 19 years later. I have a camera, and I have a plethora of stories to tell you. I got pictures galore, okay? I got 19 years of memories, 19 years of relationships, 19 years of a lot of stuff, okay? So take it from me. And listen, y'all stay tuned because I have a lot of different things that is coming on the horizon. Right now, I have just released an ebook. It is called Snap and Go. It is a guide to, if you're traveling from city to city, how to hire photographers and creators. Right up my alley, okay? Right up my alley, okay? Also, we have a manifestation guide. If you're looking to manifest the life of your dreams, check it out. Start manifesting the life of your dreams tonight. Start writing it out, making it happen, okay? And we got a lot more stuff to come, okay? Because as Custom Creation celebrates 19, we got a lot of different things that we want to still bring to the marketplace. So I'm your girl, Alicia, coming to you for another Tuesday Night Live. Thanks for joining us tonight. And guess what? As always, there is more to come. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.